What's happening, guys? 1 second. Okay, I'm sorted. What's up, guys? You guys good? All right, let's get into it. Okay, how was everybody's New York session? I mean, we absolutely smashed it today. Azhar says, banger trade today. Absolutely, man. We had a killer of a trade today. I just thought I'd hop on here and break it down for you guys. And you know, the reasonings as to why we took that trade, why I sent it out to my team, and whatnot. But yeah, before we get into it, just gonna flip through to the daily time frame, because I believe this was the key to today's trade. What did you guys trade? Did you guys trade NASDAQ? Did you guys catch the US 30 buys? How was it? Just let me know in the chat. I just want to quickly send out this link as well. So I'm going to share the link to Telegram. Okay, share that to the free group as well. All right, I think that's it. Back there. Why don't you use the normal candle colors? Specific reason or just personal preference? No, that's just my personal preference, guys. But the candlesticks I use, this has always been personal preference, detaches emotions. You know, you don't think of it as red and blue and red for, you know, dropping and so forth. Yeah, just use my blue and white. It's always been like that. It's just personal preference. Nothing really too specific about it. Okay. So let's get cracking, guys. So the key to today's trade was this daily time frame, and more particularly this daily candlestick that we're looking at here. You can see that today's candle was at some point it was a bearish candle. So there was a lot of news and a lot of fundamentals in play. As you can see, Nvidia falls 12% pre-market. So there's obviously a lot of stuff happening within Asian session. A lot of moves that occurred which dropped NASDAQ and US 30. Both dropped down, and you know, days like that, you know, I keep telling my students, you know, try not to panic and focus on the bigger picture. So we were looking at what that candle was looking like at that time, and at that point before New York session opened, obviously the candle was trading down here at the specific area. This area we had a fair value gap sitting up here on the daily time frame, so that was my first indication that I would be looking for some sort of reaction from this area. We've already obviously taken buy side liquidity up here, as you can see. So the previous day's high, which was Thursday's high, was taken on Friday, which resulted in that sell-off. So that was part of a move down that we were looking at on Friday. After we caught that initial New York session entry, there was a sell-off that had occurred, and that was because the previous day's high was taken, liquidity was swept, so we were running to fill the next motive, and that being imbalance or fair value, right? So we dropped into this daily FEG area here, right? So we can then flip down to the 4 hour, because that was my first reason as to why I was looking for a buy. On the 4 hour, you see I've marked out this low here. So I'm not going to explain this, but there was a set of liquidity that was resting beneath this low. My students, my one-on-one students, you guys know what we were referring to at that point, but there was a sweep on liquidity at that area. And if you note, there was also a 4 hour fair value gap that was residing within the daily fair value gap. So that's already two confluences. I've got the daily FEG, I've got the sweep of liquidity here, as well as, so the third confluence being the 4 hour FEG, right? We had dropped down, we needed to create a higher low in the market. This was the last higher low that was formed. So if we mark out quick structure, you got the high, you got the higher low, you got the higher high, you got the higher low, and then we had rallied to a new high and had fallen off. So we were looking to find an area in which we were going to create that higher low point. And with those confluences in place at those areas, it was looking very positive for that area there. So if you pull your fib from the high to the low, you can see we tapped into the 50%. So we were within the discounted range of this current leg or of this current expansion, right? So we were below the 50%, meaning we were in discounted range. That fair value gap on the 4 hour time frame as well as the daily time frame was within the discounted range. Hence why we looked for that buy. Despite fundamentals being negative, with tech stocks, companies dropping, things like what you call it, Nvidia, companies like Nvidia declining today and whatnot, we still were strong on the buys. Again, same story on the 1 hour. You can refine that entire area from the daily to the 4 hour to the 1 hour. You've got the same point of interest within the same area, right? So that's a 1 hour fair value gap. In that area, you also got an area of, if you mark this out, you've got somewhat of key level up here. So you can see price had respected this area 2 times, created a resistance, rallied through, and had not come back for a retest. So this would probably be like the 5th confluence into why we were anticipating that area to hold. So 5 confluences, 5 strong confluences already. The next ones on the lower time frames were my reasoning. So we were below previous day's low. So we had taken the previous day's low at that point, trading below it, as well as that set of liquidity that we were eyeing down here. We had swept that, and then price gave us a market structure shift to the upside. If you were looking at it here, when we respected that area, we did not get into buys at this point because we did not want to get trapped in this mess, right? We waited for a confirmed entry as opposed to a aggressive entry today. So we waited to see a market structure shift. So on the 4 hour, you can see, on the 15 minute, you can see that was the lower high, lower low. We created a lower high point up here, but we failed to take out this low, and thus giving us new higher highs that had formed here. So can you see one here, one here? So we were failing to go lower. We failed to take out this low. We were maintaining the lows, and we had broken through the high. So this was the high that I was looking at. We had broke through that high, and by doing so created a 15-minute FEG as well as an order block that sits in the same area. So you've got your order block that sits here in that area. So there's your order block, there's your fair value gap, all within that same area, all in the 15-minute time frame after the sweep of liquidity, after we had dropped into our higher time frame point of interest, and this was our exact entry. When we saw price pull into this area, we had entered, went in a bit of drawdown for initially like 5 to 10 minutes of drawdown, and then New York session open delivered the goods. You could have went in after that break of structure and the tap into the order block or the FEG at that point. So your entry would have been at that area. Your stop loss could have been on either that low or this low. And your take profit, I would have said you would have targeted a 1:2, which is a solid 2,600 odd pips. I personally closed out at about, I closed a runner earlier and then I closed another. The remainder of my entries up above. But you got to manage your trade accordingly, and yeah, that's basically how we've done it. Any questions on that, guys? That was today's trade. Very simple, very textbook. You can see another reason why we were hunting that buy as well, probably your 6th or 7th confluence already, is the fact that when market opened last night, we opened with a gap lower and we had gapped in that area. So this was the opening range gap from last night's market open, which price needed to fill. So ideally, if you were targeting the 1:2, your 1:2 would have been in line with this area. I would have gotten out there. That would have been a solid trade if you followed us and you did what we said. But yeah, any questions from you guys? Let's read the comments. I know you're trading for a long time, man, and you're like one of the only legit traders I've found. I'm a few months into my journey and I want to ask like what I should avoid when trading. Okay, can I answer that a little bit later? It's a bit of a long one, or maybe I'll just tackle it now. So for a new trader or a beginner trader, I would say avoid revenge trading, avoid jumping from strategy to strategy. Find one entry model, one setup that works for you, that works within your specific strategy, something that you resonate with. If you're a scalper, it needs to be a scalping strategy. If you're a swing trader, it needs to be a swing trading strategy, and so forth. But find something that works for you. Whether you do breakouts, whether you do support resistance, trend lines, there's thousands of different strategies out there. Stick to one strategy, master the one strategy, and avoid hopping between them. Okay. Monkeys SSFX, I heard you say in the previous videos, Asian highs, Asian low, London. How do you mark it out? You got to reference it to time, figure out which sessions occur at specific times in the day, and mark out your highs and lows within those sessions to give you your session liquidity. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? What else can you guys tell me? Questions on this exact setup, guys? I'm here to answer them. Nothing. Bro, I hate how many traders put a replay and show trading strategies, but as of you, I think you're the best for showing the real side of trading, doing it live. Yeah, 100%, man. I don't do the whole replay story. If I'm replaying it, I'm replaying it as a backtesting session. Other than that, I mean, we can trade live. You've seen the lives. We do it live, guys. In real time. We don't hide from anything. We teach what we actually use, unlike a lot of people out there. Prashil says, how much is your premium group? Just hit me up with a DM and we'll assist you there. Yeah, so that's that, guys. Anyone trading? So if you're looking at, let's look at the session currently, right? So we're looking at This PM session that we are in right now, you would mark out your lunch period period being 12 to 1. Oh, sorry, wrong one. So let's mark out our lunch period being 12 to 1. Okay, so personally I don't trade during this period. This is known as the lunch macro, but yeah, not a time that I trade in. So you can see we have not run the previous day's high as yet. At this point, we do have order block, fair value gap, whatnot sitting at these areas. So at this point, we are still looking for that external range liquidity for a run on the previous day's high. So PM session, which starts at 1 p.m., which is now. We're heading into the PM session, New York PM session. You can more than likely expect another push up to raid that high before maybe another retracement to bring us back down into that area potentially. This would be a nice buy area, and the reason for that is because we've got this consecutive down close candles here which form your order block before the rally up, and you've got the fair value gap here. I also have what we call a inverse FEG that sits at this point. So just some nuggets heading into the next couple of days for this week. I would ideally like price to give us a retracement of some sort into that area and then continue with another leg up. That's ideally what I would want to see. Okay, but remember, we can alternatively take out that previous day's high first and then draw lower and then go up. So we got to let the market dictate to us what it wants to do, and we just follow with it. We don't try and predict it or control the market. We just follow the market. So Gladstone, Botswana, sup brother, how do I join your live and your WhatsApp group? DM, join Instagram. DM me on Telegram, please, and we'll get back to you. Blissful nature. So, bro, do you think maybe US30 will break all-time highs? Absolutely, 100% US30 will break all-time highs. I've got no doubt in my mind about that. Trump 25, we are heading for all-time highs, 100%. I sent a DM earlier. Get back to me whenever you're free. Press shield. I definitely will do. I'll have a look at that. Dale stock is not related to today's trade, but do you trade funded accounts? If not, how come? I've explained this in one of the videos prior, guys. Funded accounts require quite strict discipline. Not that I don't have discipline, I've got a hell of a lot of discipline, but when it comes to my rule book and my type of trades, I'm not so much of a 1 to 2% sort of risk per trade. So it doesn't suit my trading style. What works for me is trading my own capital. Psychologically, I've mastered that. I've mastered how to control my emotions when it comes to my own capital. If you're trading a prop account, it's most likely because you haven't really mastered. It's one of two things. You either don't have the funds to trade bigger accounts, or you haven't really mastered the psychological aspect of it, the emotional side of trading, where you're probably still too detached to your money, so you need to trade an account that's not really real, because a funded account is not exactly real, guys. They're giving you demo funds in hopes that you're going to blow that account, because 95% of traders obviously lose, and that's just a statistic. So it's just a preference. I don't do funded accounts. Too many rules and too many clauses, and I've hit a few funded prop firm companies down previously, and I've never gotten paid from them whenever I requested a big payout. So yeah, I'm a bit skeptical of that. Not that I'm bashing any companies, no, I'm not, but there's very few legit ones that will not look for an excuse to pay you your money when you do hit them for a big number. Vault Market's got one, Funded Marketplace. Yeah, they do. I believe they are good and they have been paying out all their clients and stuff. So they are pretty good. You're more than welcome to check them out. Yeah. Bro, looking at the news and all, since there's people making bags with meme coins, do you think it's a good idea to invest in that meme coins? Yeah, I mean, it depends. I believe you can make some good money on XRP meme coins. Well, meme coins that are linked to the XRP network. So yeah, it depends. You got to catch the ship early though. Which fund would you suggest if we are? So I would suggest FTMO as one of the good ones. Alpha Capital, they are good ones. Vault Funder is also a good one. Let me think. I think Funder Pro is a good one as well. So there are a couple of good ones, but just do your homework first, guys. Yeah. All right. If there's nothing else, guys, then I'm gonna have to leave you guys. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that breakdown, and hopefully tomorrow or Wednesday we'll go live during the New York session open, and you guys can catch that with us. Blissful Nature says also, he says, since Trump is in charge, it's time to be rich. 100%. If you do not make money in this time, guys, like while Trump is president, then I don't know, you really are sleeping on forex. You're sleeping on the skill. Yeah, just educate yourself, learn as much as you can, because it's definitely a time to make money. Azar says, any idea how good FX Fixify is? I don't know what company that is. I've never heard of them, so I'm not too sure. Can't really give you advice on that. Sorry, man. Okay. Anyways, guys, gonna have to leave you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and yeah, we'll catch up tomorrow or Wednesday. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.